Another thing, and this one's very interesting. Every team's make or break player for the 2025 season. You went with who the Browns hope becomes the left tackle, Dawand Jones. Let's for a minute. If he shows he can play left tackle, how big is that for the Browns?
I think it's huge. I mean, you're talking about a league that considers the left tackle spot and really both tackle spots nowadays as premium positions. And you look at the rest of the Browns' offensive line, all four of the other projected starters are going to be at least 30 years old by the time the season starts. Jones is that fifth guy who isn't, 24, 25 years old. He's got potential, obviously a massive frame, but he's got to stay healthy and put it together for a full season. So I think the make or break element for him is twofold. One, the Browns finding a franchise left tackle, or even if they have to move him back to the right side eventually, a starting caliber player that can work for them into the future. And Jones is a guy who's getting later in his rookie contract and needs to prove for himself and his own career's sake that he can be a starter in the NFL. So it's twofold, both individually and for the team. But the Browns are desperate for young offensive line talent, and Jones looks like the most immediate solution if he can play well.
So when you look at this offensive line, and we mentioned they're old. You know, Joel Bitonio talked about retirement. Jack Conklin came back and played really well. Posick was another guy that's kind of up there. Teller's getting up there in age. If in fact they're going back to the wide zone, the Kevin Stefanski thing, they brought a Bill Callahan disciple to be the head coach. If they go back and are middle of the road, how big of a lift is that to this offense? If they go back and are an NFL average offensive line.
It's a huge lift, honestly. I know that's one thing that we always talk about with offensive line play in the PFF building is, look, if you're bad, creep your way back to average. And if you have an average offensive line, you can start to do some things, right? Because it affects both the running and the passing game. I think especially with those running backs we talked about before, you want that unit to move up that list that I made. That's exactly how it's done, is you get in that zone blocking scheme and you start blocking better and you're just healthy for the full 17 games, right? I know it's hard to keep all five guys healthy for the full season, but the teams that are able to mostly do that generally have pretty good seasons up front. So it makes a whole big difference for the offense, for the running backs, for young running backs that you're trying to create holes for, and then quarterbacks, right? I mean, you talk about there's a potential that one or even two rookies are going to play this year. If those guys are protected, you at least give them a chance to succeed, unlike last year when the offensive line and the quarterback spot and really the entire offense was a disaster, but in large part because they couldn't block anybody.